things that are, that will be, and that have been. No one has ever laid open the garment by which I am concealed. The fruit which I brought forth was the sun.
Hello and welcome back to Cosmic Law. Today we're going to be speaking about a netta that almost no one has ever heard of, yet her principal function is expansion. And in our ever-expanding universe, she's in continuous operation at all times. The best way to learn about something is to go directly to the source, and in the case of the nettas, that lies in their name. And the name of NEITH is spelt with only two hieroglyphs, one pronounced N, the other T. The wave like N represents energy in one of its infinite forms, while the T is the upper half of the circle, like the dome of the firmament above us. And when added to the end of a word, it denotes the female principle, which makes NEITH a female netta, and giving this hieroglyph the essential meaning of that which contains. So while the hieroglyphs can be interpreted in many ways, I'm here presenting the name of NEITH as she who holds all energy. NEITH can be looked upon as a vast reservoir or storehouse where all kinds of energy can be found. She has every kind of energy you need. In another video, we looked at the word netta and how it's spelt with the hieroglyphs pronounced N, T, and R. The slightly open mouth, speaking an utterance of Ra, or God himself, known as the divine command, be. NEITH's name has exactly the same spelling, only without the R, making her energy available for anyone to use. An inscription from the temple in Esna credits her as she who created the universe and all that it contains. And she also governs how it functions, since she is the reservoir for all energy. And with regard to the processes of creation, NEITH stands at the very top of the hierarchy, since it is she that provides and regulates the energy needed. As the holder of all energy, her name draws a parallel to the netta Sekhmet, whose name means she who holds all power. Two crossed arrows and a shield were the emblems for the area around Sais, where NEITH's great temple once stood. These same elements in a highly stylized form then became the symbol for NEITH herself. And this curious symbol is often read as a shuttle for weaving. And this is where the floodgates opened for me, because her name is written with the hieroglyphs pronounced N and T, and, like with the Arabic writing, vowels such as E and I are not included, so her name could be pronounced as Nit or Net. Weaving, knitting, and nets all employ the structured interlacing of threads or fibers into a permanent, stable form, and they still play an overwhelming part in our daily lives. Weaving intermeshes threads on a device called a loom, where many tightly stretched threads called the warp are crossed by a weft carried by a shuttle. The weft threads weave their way over and under the warp in an alternating manner. And when we look at the shape they make, its connection to NEITH becomes obvious. It's none other than the wave pattern or energy that's used in her name. In the end, the finished piece of fabric is that which contains all of the threads, all of the energy. The warp and weft are symbolized by the two arrows as they cross over each other in weaving the fabric. An arrow is a similar weapon to an axe. Both fly through the air at lightning speed before hitting their targets and coming to an abrupt stop. Thus, using an axe to represent Netta and an arrow to represent NEITH makes perfect sense to the ancient Egyptian mindset. And the shield is used for protection, just as woven fabrics are used to protect our bodies or other precious items. A single thread is one-dimensional, yet weaving takes it into a two-dimensional state. And the Netta NEITH can take us into another dimension. Several texts from the Old Kingdom give her the title, She Who Opens All the Ways. Standing by a gilded shrine from the tomb of King Tutankhamun, NEITH is joined by Isis, Nephthys and Selkut as protectors of the four canopic jars. Of these jars, NEITH is the protector of Dua Mutef, whose jackal head connects us to Anubis, whose name Wepwawet means the opener of the ways. I mentioned how woven fabrics protect the body, and in relation to Anubis and funerary rites, the finely woven linen bandages used to wrap the mummy provide a vital protection for it. And since the hieroglyph pronounced T means that which contains or holds, these linens hold and protect the energy or spirit of the deceased. At the beginning of the video, we heard NEITH say, "No one has ever laid open the garment by which I am concealed," the garment being a woven fabric. And remember how Jesus wore a seamless garment, meaning that he was sheathed in a flawless protective shield. These are just some of the ways that NEITH manifests in the material world, through weaving, which expands things from the single thread into the full tapestry. And we'll be looking at how she manifests in the invisible realm in part 2 of this video. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons when you enjoyed today's video. And if you want to support me, you can buy a coffee through the link below. And we look forward to seeing you again in NEITH part 2 on Return to Cosmic Law very soon. Thank you.
حبيبي